Now we shall invite Mr. PVRN IYER. He will speak how to make our life worth living.
You will excuse me for speaking in English when I should have been speaking in Gujarati. I can understand Gujarati very well, but I cannot speak fluently. I came to Ahmedabad very late. I am now running my 87th year. And you will not believe, I have never been admitted into a hospital even for one day. It's all because of the genes or because of God, not because of me. I give a lot of credit to Ahmedabad for the development which I have had. And I am going to speak to you on some of the principles upon which my life and my career has been fashioned. Number one, my grandfather was a pujari in a small temple in a village which had less than 100 families. And my father wanted to study further beyond middle school, which was the class where you could study all in the local Tamil and Sanskrit language. Once you want to go beyond middle school, you would have had to learn English. And he being a Brahmin, my father said that, look, I am a pujari, you should not be reading English. So he ran away from his house, left his house without his parents' knowledge. With what? Not even a shirt, because in South we don't wear shirt normally. We have only a dhoti, which we tie, you see, around, and a gamcha, a tundu, as we call it, or a mundu. And so he had only a pair of that, and he took it and went away. And where did he go? He went to the nearest district town of Parlachi, where, you see, he went to the government high school, to the principal, to the headmaster, and said that I have come away from my home. Will you please help me give admission in the school? The father saw, the principal, the headmaster, saw the mark sheet of his middle school examination, which was a board examination at that time, and said, I have 4 sons. They have all the facility to study. Not one of them has scored marks like him. And so he said, okay. And he took him to a dharmshala and said, you will stay here, and told the keeper of the dharmshala that let him stay here. If you have a very important guest coming, he will sleep outside, but otherwise he will sleep inside. And what did he have? Only, you see, a pair of dhoti, nothing else, you see, to keep in the room. Then he said, in the morning, for your meals, you will come to my house, and in the night, you will come to my house. And this is the time which you should come. So he had free education. He studied there for a couple of years until somebody from his village came over to this town and saw him and said, how come you are moving about? Your parents thought that you are dead and gone. Because they did not know that you are alive. They thought an animal must have killed you. So he said, no, I am studying here, I am in the government high school, etc., etc. So the gentleman went back to the village. In those days, people were not able to travel that much. I am talking of 125 years ago. So he went and told his parents that your Padmanabha is alive and kicking and he is there studying. So his mother came along with him and caught hold of his ear, gave him a good beating and said, "Come home." Now those days that could happen. Children, however tall or old they are, they could be beaten by their mother or father, but not these days. But now the children won't behave like that. They don't run away from home for studying. So, my father was taken aback. The headmaster, explained to him, "Look, I am also a Brahmin. I am also an IYER. And I am not, left my religion. And he can, study. There should be no harm, etc., etc." But she wouldn't agree. Then he went back. He told, the headmaster in broken English, because his mother should not understand, that I will write to you letters. You please reply to me, care of Postmaster Komarlingam. They were staying in Kurumam. Komarlingam postmaster will have no contacts with the Kurumam people. In Kurumam postmaster, if he gets letters, they may tell somebody or the other who will go and tell the parents. So he told them, "Please give me testimonial about my studies, about my character, about everything, and encourage me. I am going to again run away from my home, and I will go away this time so far away that my parents cannot reach me." And that's what happened. He, after a few months, ran away from his home. In those days, I am talking of the early 1900s, the place for studies was Kashi. Banaras was considered to be the center for studies. So, am I being very loud or not audible or anything? No. Beg your pardon?
You are going well.
Okay. No, I could see there was some difficulty. No. So, he ran away to Kashi with no money, with no clothes of any kind of warm clothes because in Tamil Nadu, it used to be always warm, like in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is in fact colder than what Kurumam used to be. So, he had no warm clothes. He reached Kashi in about 6.5 months. It took so much time because he had to travel by road. Somewhere there may be train, the other places there would not be, because I am talking of 100 years ago, or more than 100 years ago. He reaches Kashi, he doesn't know the language, knows Tamil, broken English in the couple of years that he had studied. And then he went to the Central Hindu College. There was a Kashmiri gentleman who was the principal, Dr. Iqbal Narayan Gurtu. He went and showed the letters. Dr. Gurtu then told him, "Okay, I give you admission in the hostel, and I'll give you admission in the school, college," because they had high school, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th standards, and he started studying there. Again, he had free food and free tuitions. But the principal told him, "Look, you are a Brahmin. We have students here who are Brahmins who will not eat meals which are not cooked by a Brahmin. So, you shall help us in cooking in the hostel." He said, "Fine." And so he used to do the cooking. and went on studying. He finished his intermediate. He was in his final year for BSc. And it occurred to him, because there's a Viceroy's Executive Council member who had come to deliver a lecture at the Central Hindu College. And he told the students, you are all science students, why don't you go for technical studies abroad? India must have some industries. Go and study technical subjects, graduate there, work there, and after working there, bring, you see, that knowledge of everything, including what machineries are required, and set up factories in India. My father took it seriously. And he had 3 other students who were all staying in the same hostel, and they were very rich people's children. And they were good people. So one of them became the founder of Calcutta Chemical Company. Margo soap, neem toothpaste, etc. was a forerunner of toothpaste and of soap in India. Until that time when these were introduced, there was no soap which was being manufactured in India. Mysore Sandal Soap Factory came later. So he went, you see, to Khagen Chandra Das, he went, you see, to England, studied, and came back and set up the factory. They imported all the machinery, everything. Surendra Mohan Bose, he's another classmate, went, studied rubber technology, came back, and started the Bengal Waterproof Works, duck-back raincoats, hot water bottles, etc. You might have heard of it, still working as such, though it's more than 80 years old. That was also his classmate. Third was Ranjit Singh Jain. He was a Diwan, Rajasthan, somewhere there was a Diwan of a state, his son. And he was a very bright student. So he went and did graduation in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and came back. And was the first principal and founder of the Banaras Engineering College. They all could go. Now, could my father have gone to England? But he said, no. I have been told that I must qualify. And he went and requested, he made research and found out that Swami Vivekananda had already, you see, established a Ramakrishna mission in California. And so he went to Ramakrishna mission and said that, can you find out whether I can qualify for admission in the University of California at Berkeley for studies in agriculture, because I have done a little bit of tilling of land and everything, which my village had given to the temple pujari. And so they said yes, and they wrote. And he told them that, look, I can conduct a wedding, I can do the Upanayan, Janev, etc. I know the shlokas and all that, because with his father he used to do all that. So I can be a good Pandit also for you. They said, do you promise you will not smoke, you will not drink, you will not eat meat? He said, yes, I promise. And so they found out that yes, he can be admitted based on his academic achievements. And so he said, I must go. And what did he do? He started asking money from various people. Anybody who gives him a pie, 12 pies used to make 1 anna. It used to be 192 pies will make 1 rupee. He collected 1,200 rupees by meeting thousands of people. When the children will go on leave, when the holidays will come in this college, he will go with them. By हमारे लिए भी ticket खरीद दो ना. So the hostel students will pay for him his ticket. He will go and stay in their homes and then go on begging in that city. So whether it was Kanpur or Agra or Calcutta or any other place from which the students have come to the college, he will go to those cities and he will do. And he collected 1,200 rupees, which is a lot of money in those days. And then you see he went to Calcutta, stood there around the port until he found a Japanese ship which was willing to take him on board as to work on board, and he was the English interpreter to the Japanese captain. And they would feed him naturally. He told, I am a vegetarian. They did not understand what the vegetarian means. He said, no eggs, no fish, no chicken, no meat, etc. So he said, then what? He said, potatoes and the rice. And they had not been using pulses, दाल नहीं खाते थे, तो उन्होंने दाल खरीद के जो है 100 किलो एक शिप में जाने के लिए कोई बड़ा बात नहीं होता है. So he got to see that. And then he sailed on that. The Japanese ship was going to Japan, and then onwards it was to go to the United States. So he landed in Seattle, and from Seattle he went over to San Francisco and there to the Berkeley. He graduated in sugar technology afterwards from Hawaii. I am telling all this, not my story, but my father's story, for you to understand that if one has made up his mind, one can achieve anything. There is no problem. But you have to have a character. And he had, you see, the character and the intention. His 3 other siblings, 3 other brothers, sisters, they remained illiterate. And they could achieve nothing in the life. But whereas my father stayed there for 12 years, 13th year he came back from there. 1912 to 24 he was there. He came back to India, and then he set up 7 sugar mills in India, assisted the rich people who could put the money while he was a technical person. He was a sugar technologist of eminence in his lifetime. And he passed away of cholera with just 3 days illness, and I was the only one with him. He had 5 sons and a daughter. I was 17 years old, and he was seriously ill. He said, Vaiti, you will have to look after the family from now on. And believe it or not, from that day onward till today, I'm not the eldest, but I'm treated as the eldest, and I have been the leader in the family. And it has been a very successful innings for me. I started life I was giving private tuitions while I was studying for BSc. Morning, evening, my character was built by RSS. I was a young boy, 13, 14 years old. Somebody thought of taking me to the RSS Shakha in Lucknow. I was born and brought up in Lucknow, in UP, not in South India. And there you see, every day I would spend about 2 hours or so in the evening going, playing there and coming. So at 17, when the responsibilities came on me, the people from the Shakha were helpful. I was able to get tuitions. And I used to give tuitions in the morning and the evening also. After the playing around in the Shakha, etc., I used to go. And I used to earn, you see, enough to be able to contribute a little to my family. My father, when he passed away, he did not leave us any money. He left us only the goodwill of lots of people. Whenever he gave money to the people, he never wrote down. It's a principle which I have followed even today. If you give something, give, forget about it. Never expect that it will be returned. There are literally dozens of people who have been educated by me. And my younger brother, he passed away. I should not be telling it, but his grandson is here, sitting there in front, who studies in the Institute of Hotel Management in Gandhinagar. When we had a family get-together, every 2 years I have a family reunion where all the brothers, the children, etc., I get them over. All of them are doing pretty well. So, at that time, my elder brother's grandson told me, why don't you see, take up Anubhav under your care? Your children, both son and daughter, are okay. Because of the character which we have given, both, my wife was a doctor, gynecologist. My mother, you see, saw to it that she got a doctor as her daughter-in-law because she was studying in the Lady Hardinge Medical College when her marriage took place. And she had to discontinue studies. So, but she was a very educated lady who believed in doing good to the others. She used to work in Astoria, Chakla, where, opposite the Aram Prince, where the patients who will come will be of lower middle class or poor class. Both Hindus and Muslims which will be coming. And each month, about 1,000, 2,000 rupees she will be spending from her pocket for the patient's medicines. Because when she will prescribe the medicines and a patient doesn't respond, she asks, what is it that made you not respond? Are you taking the medicines correctly? And when they will say, she will find that the medicine which was the most required, which was the most expensive, they would not have taken it. They would not have bought it because they cannot afford it. So she will buy it and give it to them. Now, these are the things which was taught to me that should become my character also. And in workplace, I wanted to tell a lot, but I have been given time only this much by Mr. Pandya, and so I'll close. Otherwise, I could have given you examples of how one can work without paying a single rupee as a bribe to any government official and yet get things worked out. I would have given you examples from the textile mills, from the engineering industry, from the pharmaceutical industry, because I have added all these three companies.
5 minutes more, sir.
5 minutes more. Okay. No, as they have said, I'm a professional manager, and management must include time management also. So, now, my first experience in dealing with the government was when I came into McGaw Ravindra Laboratories here as the chief executive. Mr. Rohit Mehta, Rohit Bhai, Chinu Bhai Mehta, he appointed me, he got me from Bombay. I was working in Park Davis, and I was heading the sales there. We had 300 employees under me, salespeople at that time. I'm talking about 1969. And he said, Mr. Iyer, you have to come and take charge of the company I started because of you. I said, because of me? Yes, you told me that intravenous solutions are required in India. So I set it up with the American collaboration. And now it's making 3 years, it has made losses. We have wiped out all the capital. You have to come and save it. I said, okay, I'll come. But you won't be able to afford me because I am working in a multinational. He said, doesn't matter. I have 3 companies which can afford to pay. Rohit Mills is there, Rajesh Textiles is there, Bipin Silk Mills is there, we can you see pay. I said, no, if I join you, only the company in which I am working will pay for my services, not any other companies. Principle number one. No paying under the table, getting, you see, the money under the table, will I accept? Said, okay. But Rohit bhai, we have been friends for 10 years. We have been friends. And now you want me to become, कि हम आपके नौकर बन जाएं. तो उन्होंने कहा, नहीं, आप हमारे परिवार के बनेंगे. And till to date, I am considered as a family member of his. His children, his grandchildren, when they see me, they touch my feet. And his brothers, sisters, they all, you see, respect me as though I am part of the family. He has done that. This can happen only in Ahmedabad, where a state can be like this. Ahmedabad has given me a lot. It gave me the opportunity of being the president of Ahmedabad Management Association, which gave me the opportunity of, for the first time, although All India Management Association had been existing for many, many, many years, it had never elected a president who was outside Calcutta, Madras, Delhi, Bombay. The 4 metro town presidents were only those who were getting elected. So, I said, why? We are also members of the All India Management Association, we should get a representation. And I stood for election against the Bombay Management Association president, who was working in Bennett Coleman, Times of India Group. He was the executive director there. But he got defeated. Because I had worked on the people of various local management associations, and they all voted for me. So the presidentship of All India Management Association, I changed that it should move only among the metros. Mr. Chinubhai Shah came after me. After that, Mr. Rajiv Vastupal has also come. And not only in Ahmedabad, after me, Hyderabad Management Association president became. Bangalore Management Association president could become a president. So the rule that it should move amongst the metro town was moved. Now, the second company, now, Megha Ravindra, what did I do? It was running at losses. The first thing which I did was to look into, and I found that they are paying excise duty in excess of what they should be paying. I said, why? Because they say that this is what we have been advised. I said, no, the law doesn't say that. You should not be paying this much. And I fought the case. I am Nanavati, fought it for us in the courts, and we won. And immediately it had a gain of 10% of the sales value being now becoming a profit. Because that we could say we didn't have to pay to the government, you see, as such. You should know the law. I found it out very early in life. If you know the law, you will not be made to do an illegal act. And therefore, when the drug inspector came and with the assistant commissioner and inspected our plant and said that you have to do this, do this, do this, I looked into what they have said are deficiencies, and they said we will close the company unless, close the production unless you do all these things. I said, this I will do, this I will do, this I will do. This I am not going to do, I cannot do. Because the American company does not do it, the German companies don't do it, English companies don't do it, it's not required for the nature of our product. He said, but our law says that all drugs which are sold as injectables, the container must be sterilized. I said, yes. The law was made when there was no intravenous solution bottles. It was made when there were only ampules to be sterilized. I took up with Mr. B.V. Patel, a very honest person, who was the drugs controller here. He had come from Bombay, he knew me. I told him, पटेल साहब आपको कुछ करना होगा, ये लॉ बदलने का है. तो उन्होंने कहा कि हम आपको सपोर्ट करेंगे, आप हमको डेटा सब दीजिए, ऐसा ऐसा सा बना के. And we suggested, and we went to the center. I went personally, talked to the drugs controller in India, Ministry of Health, etc. The law was changed. Before that, our company had paid each year 2.5 lakhs of rupees to the drugs inspector and to the drugs controller. I paid nothing. Maybe I spent on going to Delhi a few times to get the law changed, but the act was implemented. If you know the law and if you're bent upon not paying, it can be. Because I threatened कि आप हमारी कंपनी का प्रोडक्शन बंद करवाइए और मैं जो है ब्लिट्स में जो है दूंगा कि हम 3.5 साल से माल बना रहे हैं, लाखों जगहों पर हम लोगों ने जो है बेच दिया है और अभी तक कोई एक्सीडेंट नहीं हुआ है, कोई प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं हुए हैं. लेकिन चूंकि हम आपको जो है ऐसे रुपए देते रहे हैं, इसलिए आप हमारा लाइसेंस रिन्यू कर रहे थे. अब इस साल आप लाइसेंस क्यों नहीं रिन्यू कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि मैं पैसा नहीं देने वाला हूँ, रुपया देने वाला नहीं. तो दे गॉट अफ्रेड कि अगर हमने ब्लिट्स में दे दिया, ब्लिट्स उस ज़माने में बहुत ज़बरदस्त न्यूज़पेपर माना जाता था इस तरह के न्यूज़ के लिए, तो वो घबरा गए कि हम तो बदनाम हो जाएंगे. तो चुपचाप मान गए, उन्होंने हम पर फाइन नहीं, कुछ नहीं किया और हम लोगों ने लॉ भी चेंज करवा लिया. तो आगे के लिए भी फुर्सत हो गई. ये वहाँ की बात है. इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी में गए तो वहाँ पर भी जो है देखा कि एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट जो है हम लोग पाइप फिटिंग्स बनाते थे, मैलेबल आयरन कास्टिंग्स हैं वो. तो उन्होंने जो है कहा कि आप पाइप फिटिंग बनाते हैं तो उस पर 15% ड्यूटी लगेगा. हमने कहा नहीं, हम मैलेबल आयरन कास्टिंग्स बनाते हैं, उस पर 0% है. तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं, आप जो है इतने साल से देते आ रहे हैं. मैंने कहा नहीं देंगे हम. तो हमने लॉ पढ़ के देखा हुआ था, तो हमने कहा अंडर प्रोटेस्ट इफ़ यू पे एक्साइज ड्यूटी, हर एक इन्वॉइस में हम अंडर प्रोटेस्ट करते थे और चिट्ठी भी हमने लिख के दे दी थी. तो हमको जो है फिर ट्राइब्यूनल में जाके जो है लेके आना पड़ा कि हाँ, ये पाइप फिटिंग जो है मैलेबल आयरन कास्टिंग्स के क्लासिफिकेशन में आ सकती है. तो विथ रिट्रोस्पेक्टिव इफेक्ट उन लोगों ने हम लोगों को 80 लाख रुपए दिए. RM इंजीनियरिंग वर्क्स को 80 लाख रुपए मिले गवर्नमेंट से. तो अभी क्या हुआ, लॉ जानने से जो है हम कर सकते हैं काम क्वाइट ऑनेस्टली, बिना पैसे दिए हुए. नहीं तो वो लोग पैसे भी ले के जाते थे और उधर हम लोग एक्साइज ड्यूटी भी देते रहते थे. तो ऐसा सब होता है. तो एक्साइज इंस्पेक्टर, ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर सब जानते थे इनकी कंपनी में जाने से कुछ पैसे हम लोगों को मिलने वाले नहीं हैं. नहीं तो वो लोग आते थे तो कुछ पैसे ले के फिर जाते थे, उसी के लिए आते थे और हमारा भी टाइम जो है बिगड़ता था. उसी तरह से रोहित मिल्स कहानी बड़ी है, क्योंकि आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि टेक्सटाइल मिल्स वॉज ऑलवेज कंसिडर्ड एज ए प्लेस वेयर यू हैव ए लॉट ऑफ गोलमाल. अहमदाबाद वाले जानते हैं कितने ही मिल बंद हो गए थे. मुझे जो है मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर बनाने के लिए रोहित भाई ने कहा कि अब आपको जो है रोहित मिल संभालना पड़ेगा. मैं जा रहा हूँ लायंस का जो है वाइस प्रेसिडेंसी इलेक्शन के लिए, उसके बाद में मैं प्रेसिडेंट भी बनूंगा. तो 4 साल तक मैं इसमें देख नहीं सकता हूँ या 3 साल तक नहीं देख पाऊँगा मिल को. और माई सन मे नॉट बी एबल टू मैनेज. द कंपनी इज रनिंग एट ए लॉस. लास्ट मंथ वी हैड ए लॉस ऑफ 60 lakhs. Previous month we had a loss of 40 lakhs. This month I am expecting a loss of 80 lakhs. I have only 1 crore left with me to spend. But you have to keep the Rohit mills alive for 6 months until my election is over. You are the only one who can do it. So I said, I told you when I was joining you that I will not join textiles because I am told there is a lot of underhand paying there. इसको पैसा दो, उसको रुपया दो, सब बहुत गड़बड़ चलता है. तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं नहीं, आप जो कुछ चाहे करिए, you will be the managing director. So मैंने कहा कि if I am the managing director, you will resign as a managing director. You will remain only as a chairman. He agreed. That was his greatness. His son was the joint managing director. I said he will not come to the mills. क्योंकि यहाँ तो सेठ का लड़का सेठ ही होता है. और एक बार सेठ ने कह दिया तो चलता ही है, सब लोग मान जाते हैं. लेकिन मैं जहाँ भी काम करता था वहाँ मेरी बात चलती थी. तो उन्होंने कहा ठीक है. मैंने कहा वो आएंगे नहीं, उनके घर पर जो है पगार मिल जाएगा. But he will not interact with any Rohit Mills employees. Today he is working in Delhi, so that is okay. But at that time he didn't have a job, so he used to stay at home. And the job was there. And he tried to find out what he should do. So Ahmedabad has been kind to me. ऐसे कौन सा एम्प्लॉयर होगा जो कि डिक्टेट करे, डिक्टेशन मानेगा. लेकिन यहाँ पर माना उन्होंने. और 3 साल हमने काम किया एज मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर ऑफ रोहित मिल्स. उस 1 करोड़ का 1 रुपया भी नहीं हमने खर्चा किया. एंड येट द मिल्स वॉज केप्ट रनिंग विदाउट एनी लॉसेस. सरप्लसेस क्रिएट किया हमने. लेकिन आई कुड नॉट वाइप आउट the loss of more than 24 crores which the company had accumulated in the previous period. But if you are honest, you can make people within the company also honest. I can give you half a dozen employees of my contacts with Majur Mahajan people and how I made them come on the line. उनके प्रतिनिधियों को, 40 प्रतिनिधियों को जो हम 2000 रुपये महीने कुछ काम करने के लिए नहीं, हमको कोऑपरेशन देने के लिए देते थे, वो हमने बंद कर दिया अगले महीने से ही. जैसे ही मैं आया मैंने कहा ये किस लिए देने का, जब वो काम नहीं करना है हम लोगों का कुछ नहीं तो फिर क्यों कोऑपरेशन ना दे. इफ़ दे डोंट कोऑपरेट दे विल लूज. मैं मिल के सारे 1000 लोगों को बता दूंगा कि देखो इन लोग से देते थे, अब हम पैसे नहीं देने वाले. तो वो मान गए सब. तो 40 लोगों से 80,000 रुपये का हमारा फ़ायदा हो गया ना हर महीने का. तो इस तरह से जो है कंपनी जो है, मैं इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बताना चाहता था लेकिन समय के अभाव के कारण नहीं बता पा रहा हूँ. माफ़ कीजिएगा अगर आप लोगों का ज़्यादा टाइम ले लिया. थैंक यू. Incidentally, I have completed 86, I am running 87, but I am not, you see, going to give up until I am 90.
May God give you.
At 90 हम जो है खड़े होकर नहीं बात करेंगे.